another one.
All right, check this one. This one right here, it's been popping up all over my Facebook feed. I know it's been popping over your Facebook feed. It's about shorty in Chicago, man, that was in a car with her guy, her baby, and she ended up losing her life or whatever the case is. I heard that her guy ended up, I don't know exactly the status of him, but we're going to find out in this video. But her baby was also in this car, her daughter. But her daughter ended up living. So we're going to go and check it out and see what the details is behind this. There's some Chicago goofy ass shit, some young, wild, goofy ass little dudes, man. But let's get it. Press the subscribe button. That's all you got to do. Golly, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them busting at the car. Oh my God, and they stopped to finish it all.
On February 4th, 2026,
I ain't gonna lie to you, just off the top, I don't even know the information. But for it to be just like that, like 3 dudes would pretty much look like they had ARs dumping at the car, making sure the job was sealed. Bro, this wasn't no situation where it was a mistaken identity or whatever the case is. They knew who they was going for, bro. And there's a reason why they did what they did. That shit whack, man. And rest in peace, little mama, man.
Gabryel Ayers was sitting in a car with her child's father on South May Street in Chicago. Around 1:25 in the afternoon, 3 men approached the vehicle and fired over 50 rounds in broad daylight.
50?
When the gunfire stopped, Gabryel was fighting for her life. And the question everyone is asking is, why were they targeted? Because the number of rounds suggests that it was no random attack.
Hell no.
Before we get into it, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Crime on Pulse so you won't miss the next case.
Shout out to Crime on Pulse. You know the vibes.
Gabryel Ayers, who went by the nickname Gi Na or Gabby, was a 26-year-old hairstylist who owned and operated her own salon in Chicago. She was known as hardworking, dedicated, and passionate about her craft, spending her days making her clients feel confident and beautiful. People who knew her described her as kind and focused on building something stable for herself. Back in August 2024, Gabryel shared a post that gave a glimpse into her mindset when it came to protection and loyalty. Someone had posted a question asking what someone would do if their baby's father was getting jumped by 6 people. Gabryel responded, saying, "I ain't one to hurt people, but don't push me." It was the kind of post that showed she wasn't someone who backed down, that she had a protective side when it came to the people she cared about. In December 2024, Gabryel...
Hey, shorty said she about that life. But that's just some goofy ass, hood ass shit. Man, why we ain't talking about some prosperity? Why we ain't talking about some growth shit? Talking about what would you do if 6 niggas is jumping your nigga, bro? Like, we gotta grow out of that mentality. That's goofy.
Gabryel gave birth to a baby girl, and from that moment on, being a mother became the center of her world. She wasn't just living for herself anymore. She was building a future rooted in stability.
And look at this beautiful young girl, man. And now she has to go through her life without a mother. Shit is sad.
And love for her child. On December 20th, 2025, Gabryel celebrated her daughter's first birthday and went all out for the occasion. She posted about it, calling her daughter the prettiest girl in the world and expressing how much she loved her. Now, months before that joyful celebration, Gabryel had faced some legal trouble. In September 2025, she was arrested and charged with retail theft under $300 and theft of lost or mislaid property under $500. On September 23, 2025, Gabryel posted on social media that her case was dismissed. She celebrated being found not guilty, mocking anyone who had been following her legal troubles. Life seemed to be moving forward for Gabryel. She had her salon, her daughter, and she was working toward building the kind of future she wanted.
Shorty was taking care of business.
was a regular Tuesday afternoon in Chicago's Auburn Gresham neighborhood on February 4, 2026. Gabryel was sitting in a white car in the 7900 block of South May Street with her child's father, 27-year-old Rico Suave, who was behind the wheel. In the back seat, strapped into her car seat, was their 13-month-old daughter. The location was significant because they were just steps away from St. Sabina Parish, a church that had long been a fixture in the community. This was a busy street in the middle of the day, the kind of place where people would be walking by, driving past, going in and out of nearby businesses.
You know that don't matter.
It was the last place anyone would expect any form of violence to happen.
Nah, you see, I don't know why we keep saying that's the last place you would expect. Especially in Chicago, man, these clowns have proven that it can go down anywhere. Broad daylight, it doesn't matter. It can go down.
Around 1:25 in the afternoon, at least 3 men approached the vehicle. They were armed and they didn't hesitate. What happened next was captured on camera by a witness who was on their way home from work. That witness started recording as they saw what was unfolding. The men opened fire on the white car multiple times.
Man, look at dude right there by the little silver car. Look how scared he is. I already know. I can only imagine how scared dude was that was videotaping this. Because now he's thinking, if they see me videotaping this, I'm probably going to get popped. Dude in the car right here, he's like ducking because I don't want them to see me here because I'm probably going to get popped because they're going to think I'm a witness. So, man, this is crazy, man. A lot of trauma was impacted in this situation, man. A lot of people, a lot of trauma was inflicted on a lot of lives in this one situation right here.
Reportedly, over 50 rounds were fired into the vehicle in a relentless barrage. After emptying their weapons, they ran to a red Alfa Romeo that was waiting nearby. But instead of fleeing immediately, they made it clear this wasn't just about sending a message. The red Alfa Romeo pulled up in front of the white car, and the men fired several more rounds into the already destroyed vehicle before finally speeding away from the scene.
Breaking right now at 4:30, a brazen shooting, a block.
All right, hold on. I haven't heard nothing yet about this damn van that's like cutting them off. Was this van used part of the attack to cut them off so they couldn't drive any further, whatever the case is? Like, we need to know about this van. So I hope they give us some information about what the hell is this van about? Because they definitely crashed into this van, which leads me to think like this van was there to like cut them off or whatever the case is. But I don't want to speculate or assume. So let's see.
From St. Sabina in the middle of 79th Street, leaving one person dead and a second in the hospital. Our Sabrina Franza is there for us. And Sabrina, there was a child in the car that was shot into, correct?
Marie, the baby was in the back seat of this white car that you can see just here on 79th Street. It is right behind this larger vehicle that it later crashed into. After the shooting, 2 adults were in the car with that child when at least 3 people walked up and started firing. Incredibly, the baby was not physically hurt, but the entire incident was caught on video, and a CBS viewer sent that video to us. Here.
All right, I can see it. That car probably wasn't part of the attack. When they started the shooting, that car was probably trying to get out the way, and that's what happened at that moment. But I'm going to assume that.
You can see at least 3 people run up to the white car with guns in hand. Now, we are not airing the audio in this video, though in it you could hear at least 24 shots fired directly at that white car. After running away, the gunman got into a red Alfa Romeo and fired even more shots into this white car. The viewer who took this video, or sent us the video rather, told us that they are heartbroken and distraught tonight, saying that they were on their way from work when they saw the shooting. A man and a woman, both injured, with a baby they say was holding a lollipop in the back seat, crying. That viewer told us that the child was not injured, thankfully. Both adults taken to the hospital, and the male is expected to be okay.
The white car crashed.
The male is expected to be okay, and she ended up losing her life. And I bet you all this was about dude.
Into a GMC van that was nearby. The driver of the van wasn't involved in the incident and wasn't injured, just an innocent person caught in the chaos of what had just happened.
There we go. They gave us some clarification.
After it was over, the scene on South May Street was covered in shell casings. evidence of just how many rounds had been fired in those few minutes. Gabryel had been struck multiple times throughout her body. The injuries were severe and she was critically wounded. Rico had also been hit, and while serious, his injuries weren't life-threatening. He was conscious and reportedly able to communicate with first responders when they arrived. Now, the most shocking part of all of this was that the 13-month-old baby girl in the back seat, sitting in her car seat, didn't have a single injury.
Oh
A witness
my
who
God.
arrived at the scene
Thank you, God. Like God had his hands over her.
shortly after said they saw the baby in the back seat, holding
Look
a
at her,
lollipop.
beautiful. Ain't no way God didn't have a plan for her. So she's gonna be a blessed young lady. But it sucks that she has to go through life just knowing that this incident was on social media, which she's probably gonna see when she get older at some point. Let's continue.
Holding a lollipop.
More video from the scene also shows the immediate police response. Officers have marked the many bullet casings on the ground as they try to find the person responsible, people responsible. Now, the other car that you can see here, as we mentioned, the driver of this car was not involved in the shooting, we're told, but also got out of the car and refused medical attention. Just an innocent person, it seems, caught in the middle of all of this. At last check, police have said that the female victim in this case is 26 years old, the male victim 27, and as we mentioned, the male victim is expected to be okay, and the child in this case was also, we're told, not injured. We're live in Auburn, Gresham. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago. Marie.
Thanks for the update on that wild scene, Sabrina.
Emergency services arrived and Gabryel was rushed to OSF Little Company of Mary Hospital in critical condition. Rico was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he was listed in good condition. The baby was safely removed from the scene by a Chicago police officer and taken to be checked out at the hospital as a precaution, but she had no physical injuries.
From all indications, there were multiple shooters who fired dozens of shots, perhaps more than 50. Remarkably, all of those bullets missed a baby who was sitting in the car that was targeted.
Investigators remained at the scene well after nightfall at this corner littered with shell casings, where somehow a baby in this bullet-riddled car emerged unscathed.
Father Michael Flegger from St. Sabina Parish, which was just steps away from where the incident happened, arrived at the scene.
A miracle with all the gunshot wounds on that car on both sides and all the shooting that took place, that baby was spared and nothing. God must have a plan for that baby.
The shooting unfolded not far from St. Sabina Church and their nearby food pantry. Leo High School is also in close proximity. Father Michael Flegger says he was there too and has also seen videos circulating on social media showing more than one shooter targeting the car. He says the shooters have no soul.
These guys just coming out with long guns, just shooting. I mean, there were bullets, casings all over the street. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it was obviously, I don't know what the origin of this was, but they were obviously after this car and the people in it. But, you know, whether they knew or not knew a baby was in the back seat, they didn't care. They were just going to shoot wildly at this car and end up killing a young mother. It's a miracle that baby was not shot. It's a miracle.
Church workers from the parish's food pantry, which was located on that corner, had been inside during the attack and hid in a back room when they heard the shots. After the incident, they came out to try to help the victims and were part of the effort to get the baby out of the car safely.
What's the purpose of shooting at a car when you know there's a child in the car? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it could be a lot of other people who's lost their life here today.
Kirk Bell is the godfather of 26-year-old Gabryel Ayers, who relatives identify as the woman who was shot and killed in her white Chevy sedan around 1:30 p.m. at 79th and May Street, her car then crashing into a van.
This here is unbelievable. This young lady was a beautiful young lady with a beautiful child, and life just cut short. For what? They need to clean this city up. They need to. This gangs and the shooting and the killing is just unbelievable.
The brazen nature of it left the community shaken and asking the same question over and over. Like, what could have possibly led to this level of violence? Investigators began working the scene immediately, collecting the numerous shell casings, reviewing surveillance footage from nearby buildings, and interviewing witnesses. The cell phone video that had been recorded by the witness was turned over to authorities and provided crucial evidence of what had happened. The question of motive became central to the investigation. Investigators believed that the intended target of the attack was Rico, the 27-year-old man who had been driving the car. But the thing is, for the nature of this incident, there was no way to control where those bullets went. Gabryel, who may not have been the intended target, ended up taking the worst hit.
And we know
Despite
Rico
the
was the
efforts of
target.
medical
Come on now.
staff at OSF Little Company of Mary Hospital, Gabryel succumbed to her injuries. She was pronounced gone at the hospital. Rico survived his injuries and is expected to recover physically. Shortly after, someone made a post writing, "They just tried to end my cousin. God got him though. Rico Suave, love you, still here." The post confirmed what investigators already knew, that Rico had survived a targeted attack. People who lived in the area who knew Gabryel, or who were just tired of the violence that had been plaguing Chicago for years, spoke out. After Gabryel's passing, her old social media post from November 21, 2025 resurfaced. Gabryel had made a post saying she was going to post someone's deceased brother in a casket on her page. The post sparked heated exchanges in the comments. A woman questioned whether Gabryel would actually post it, warning that Rico and someone else were going to handle it. She also asked if Gabryel's people were getting dragged out of a car going on a mission. Gabryel replied, saying that her brother got left on a hit. That same day, Gabryel had also posted saying she didn't care about anyone posting her address because she was moving. Now, looking back at these posts after what happened to Gabryel, people started connecting dots. The exchanges weren't just casual online arguments. They involved references to violence, retaliation, and threats. But here's the thing. While people were looking at Gabryel's social media history, they were also looking at Rico's timeline, and what was found raised even more questions. On February 14, 2025, almost a full year before the incident, Rico had made a post that painted a concerning picture of his relationship with Gabryel. He posted about texting Gabryel to FaceTime him with their daughter, and when she finally called after 3 hours, he said she was getting messed up. He wrote that if anyone even played like that, he was going to put 300 rounds all across them and her.
What?
The post drew responses from people in the comments. Gabryel herself had responded, posting, "You take me down, you know I'm coming back." Someone commented, telling Gabryel to come get the weapon. Then there were other comments that were even more direct. Someone tagged Rico and wrote, "We finna end her," and Rico replied, "She thinks it's a game." In other responses, he wrote, "She's counting her days. She will not get a second chance to do this." Now, the disturbing part is what these posts suggest when you look at them in the context of what happened a year later. It raises some unsettling questions. Him stating that she wouldn't get a second chance to do this, and the incident occurring just days before Valentine's. How did Rico survive those number of shots if he was actually the target? So was he really involved in planning something against her, or was he caught up in something else entirely, something that had nothing to do with their relationship and everything to do with street conflicts? On December 27, 2025, Rico had posted, "Long live 3 Ski. Consequences happen every time your name is mentioned." The timeline gets even more concerning when you look at what happened in the days leading up to the incident. On February 3, 2026, Rico posted, "You cowards, free Marley, free Demon." That post seemed confrontational. Gabryel's final post was on February 3, 2026. She reposted something that read, "I stay humble 'cause I've seen people laugh at somebody, then turn around and become the same thing they joked about." At 5:58 p.m. on February 4, 2026, just hours after the incident that took Gabryel's life, Rico posted, "Don't put me last knowing I'd be the first one to risk it all for you." The post came approximately 4.5 hours after the incident. Was it a message? Was it directed at the people responsible? A message that he was still standing and still ready to risk it all? The investigation into Gabryel's passing is still ongoing. No arrests have been made, and investigators are still working to identify the perpetrators and determine the motive behind the attack. The video evidence, the surveillance footage from nearby buildings, and the witness statements provide a clear picture of what happened, but the reason why is still unclear. The world keeps spinning and so does crime. Stay observant, listen to your instincts, and don't ignore the warning signs. I'll see you in the next case on Crime on Pulse. Thanks for watching.
All right, y'all, there we go. The story. That's sad what happened to Shorty, man. Rest in peace to little mama. Man, I pray for little mama. I pray for the baby girl, the daughter. Man, I just hope that she got people out here to take care of her. Hope her dad get out the damn streets, man, because clearly he was the goddamn target. And leave the street shit alone, man. That's sad. To the next one. We out. Press the subscribe button. That's all you gotta do.